Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Herbal Synergies, the shop. I'm your host, Sinji. With me, my co host, Irby.
What up?
Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is the second start. My power went out, but we didn't get far. We got like 5 minutes into this, and Irby got me like really excited to talk about something. So, without spoiling it for him, Irby, your flavor of the week.
My flavor of the week was when my boy Rimuru he used his attack started with an M, and he just basically was getting 10,000 human souls to become a demon lord. And there's this one paladin knight, and he's like, "Oh, King, we're gonna protect you. I got this one skill that I can use to make people use people as a human shield." It's like, "Let me go gather the troops." And he immediately walks out and gets smacked by Rimuru's attack. And I just thought that was hilarious. He just walks out and I was like, "Get clapped, son." So, so yeah, that was funny.
Okay, and the reason I was so excited is because that was basically Irby saying he's caught up to that time I got reincarnated as the slime, and I fucking love that anime. Like Irby, how do you feel about that anime? Because you're
It's pretty
picky
good.
sometimes. Okay, so
Yeah,
it is something up your speed.
yeah, I do enjoy it.
Okay, now my favorite moment, as I mentioned before we got cut off, was when Rimuru had his rage moment after seeing Shion dead on the floor, and then the calm right after, and like all his energy just came out, and like overall consensus, the humans or humans plus elf got involved, and it's like, hey, there's a possibility you could bring her back, and he decided, all right, I'm gonna be a demon lord. But I do love it. I have the next volume on pre-order. On to my flavor of the week, and this was Genya being being
Cut in half and cut into pieces.
yeah, he's sliced and diced, arms and just in half in general, and he's like completely alive.
Yeah, my man's part demon.
He's part. I'm convinced he's part demon.
Yeah, and he's like, he's like, "Oh, I just gotta get close so I can reattach my arm." I'm like, "Okay,
I mean,
you can do that."
it makes it seem like he's done this before. I'm just like, bro, I don't know. All right,
Probably.
Inosuke had me surprised, but like, bro, what the fuck are you doing now?
Yeah. He I just was like, man, I was like, ooh, arms. I was like, dang, Demon Slayer believer just cutting people up and killing them.
Yo,
I
that
was
nigga
like,
is
he's dead.
OP, bro. He's like as strong as a demon, and he like, oh man.
Uses moon breathing, which
Mm-hmm.
is crazy. I'm just like, the Mishasha got his hand cut off. I was like, man,
Yeah,
they
man,
just,
can't be doing that to Tokito, bro. I like Tokito.
yeah.
And then fucking
I'm,
Kanao is blind in one eye.
I don't know if she's blind per se, but the vision is like one of, she has like a pinprick vision.
Yeah, man, all these people are getting fucked up.
Sure, I'm like,
Then the fucking
dang.
cliffhanger, man. Listen,
Yeah, I almost read the next chapter on accident. I was like, wait, nope, that was it.
I was like making sure, like I made sure I checked the number before I moved on every time.
I was like, dang. Pretty much, the volume's over when it's a cliffhanger. So, but yeah,
True.
they cut that man up to little pieces, filleted him. Mm, but yeah,
All right, so I guess we might as well talk about Demon Slayer.
Yeah. Talk about Demon Slayer.
Okay, so go ahead, keep us going. We left off, and homegirl
Chapter.
Kanao is
Yeah.
fighting, and Inosuke are fighting. What the hell is this guy's name? Doma.
Doma. Yeah. So in this chapter, Doma creates ice dolls for them to fight, and
And these
then
ice
he's
dolls are
fighting.
like
Yeah.
these ice dolls are like I don't know if you would agree or not, but like they are at least lower upper rank. I don't know what the term for lower rank was, but like
I think they're like 80% of his like actual strength or something. Like they're almost as much as good as he is. So I'm saying like 80 to 90 is like his power. So if you were to base off his power, but yeah, they're pretty strong. So he's letting them fight, and Inosuke is having trouble, and all of a sudden Doma's face starts melting off. And I was like, oh man, what's going on here? And then
yeah, I thought he was gonna escape and like go kill someone else, and then like boom, face was going
yeah,
off.
and this is when you learn what is it? Shinobu's plan was actually to get eaten by the demon, and she had started consuming wisteria over the course of a year.
Oh, and it's so sad. It was just like, why no, why you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's kind of like that Mike Guy situation when he was like, "I gotta protect Lee," but he's like, "I'm not gonna die doing this, but I'm gonna die trying to save my student, so or save her new little sister." So yeah, she ate a whole bunch of wisteria, and then like, cause she did her background, like he likes to absorb pretty women and strong women, so that's what she was like, I'll just do that.
Yeah, so she knew for a fact that like he'd eat her, but like,
Yeah,
oh man, the sacrifice, and like Kana knew it was gonna happen. It was just, but it was like the rare time she shows emotion. She's like, I'll fight with you. I'll die with you. Blah blah blah. It was just like, oh man, this
she's like,
this
no,
show's really killing people off, man.
yeah, and then yeah, so she does that, and then she's like, "Oh, this is the chance to do it." So, she uses her technique. It's like equinoctial vermilion eye, which basically like gives her like superhuman vision, and the strain that it puts on the eyes, like what makes the eyes red.
Mm-hmm.
So, so
It's like
dynamic
all the
vision.
blood vessels pop or whatever, because the eyes can't
Yeah,
handle it.
yeah. So, that's what happens, and they end up um I think they end up cutting his head off and or they attempt in that chapter. And my boy Inosuke, she can't um
She
she
couldn't.
can't
She
cut
couldn't.
it.
Yeah, she couldn't get it all the way through.
Yeah, I think her arm started giving out, and then he like threw his swords and like pushed him through. And I was like, oh man, Inosuke, he's really leveled up. But then after they start killing him, he starts to try to do that mode that Akizu, that was his name. He was trying to do where he like could regrow his head.
Mm-hmm.
So
He was trying. He was like, "Oh, I'm done." Oh well, Muzan doesn't die with his head cut off, and Akaza um almost had a moment where he like became something other than a demon. Maybe I could too. It's like, nah. It seems I'm
yeah,
perishing. I'm disappearing. And then what I liked after that is when he died, the bug Hashira was there waiting for him, holding his head up. And it was just like, hey, so you died. Good. Now you can go to hell. And like, it seemed like Doma actually started falling for her from like the shit talking she was doing.
yeah. She's like, you disgust me.
Yeah,
But
they
yeah,
they They had a moment.
And then you also learned that Doma's father was a lecher, and he dallied with cult members, and his mom killed his father. So a little bit of demon background. Not enough to make me like him anymore, but you know. And then the chapter ends with I think the next chapter starts with Tokido, and the guy's like, "Oh, you look familiar. Are you friend or foe?" Pretty much. So they start fighting. That's when the
Yeah, and then
pretty
like the he automatically knew that how do I want to say it? He automatically knew that Tokido was like a descendant of his blood, and like Tokido knew
yeah.
too. But like Tokido didn't know. Like he was like, "Oh, this guy looks familiar." Well, yeah, because I'm pretty sure he's the training puppet doll at the village, the
Yeah,
swordsmith village, and I'm also pretty sure that he was the guy Tanjiro's dad was talking to in the flashback.
I think so too. Which kind of was like what I really want to know what made him turn into a demon. Was
Which
he
also,
searching for power, or what was it? Or he just wanted to live forever?
yeah, maybe he just didn't want to die. But like, it also begs this question too, right? Um, a little further on, when Genya and the Wind Hashira are like having their moment, the upper rank, I forget his name, upper rank one starts reminiscing when him and his brother were fighting. Do you think Tanjiro's dad is his brother?
I don't have enough information to draw a conclusion yet, but it could be. Who knows? I mean, he hasn't shown fire usage yet, so I don't know. But like, I don't know how it could be his brother if like hundreds of centuries passed by. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like maybe descendant, or they went different ways, or they could have been brothers back in the day that took two different routes.
Right.
Yeah,
That was just
centuries have
something.
passed.
Yeah,
Mm,
it was just something I thought about.
yeah, my man uses moon breathing.
Yeah. His swordsmanship is like space
A1.
itself.
Yeah,
And
I'm
his
like,
sword
dang,
regenerates.
that was the other crazy part. And then he cuts off his hand and then stabs it through the chest. And this is what the mark, uh, the mark is showing. And I'm like, dang. So, um, poor Miss Hashira, Taquito. And then pretty much he strung him up to a pole. And then this is chapter when he comes through and basically cuts Ginya's arm off, and his other arm, and then his legs, and then cuts him in half and leads him. And then Cinnamay comes in to win Hashira and like saves him. And he's like, "Oh, you got a disgusting sword," because basically it's like his eyes or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
um, which is funny. Like you just got eyes and skin on a sword. I'm like, ugh. And so they fight. He's using all sorts of wind techniques and this, that, and the other, and he basically gets cut open and his guts is spilling out. And
Well,
apparently
it's
he has
supposed to
some,
spill out.
yeah, supposed to spill out. And but apparently he has a special type of blood that really attracts demons. And it also
Yeah,
talks
like
about,
it in
yeah,
what it no, what's the word I'm intoxicates them.
yeah. And
I had to really dig deep for that.
yeah, it was yeah, he has special blood, and then I think that's how he was able to kill his mother, and like that's why he didn't want his brother before the demon slayers. So he's not actually mad that his brother doesn't have any skills to fight. He's just mad his brother's a demon slayer because he's like, you need to be out there having a family and kids. Like you don't need to be slaying demons. Leave that to me. So that's pretty much where his animosity is coming from. So
The fight is so good, and then like pretty much the Windhashira, he's going, even though his guts are about to spill out, but when it seems like he's about to like, and like he is a versatile fighter. Like he makes
most one
himself.
users are.
Yeah, man. Like this man is fucking versatile. Like say what you want about him and his character and like, his manner, but the dude knows his shit. But like
Yeah.
upper rank one, man, he's just dispatching of all these fucking demon slayers. And right before he takes out fucking our wind guy, our stone guy comes in.
Yeah. Sounds like whew. And that fight, that's gonna be a good one because he actually looks like he's holding his own with them. So I
Oh,
actually
he
wonder
looks
how
like
strong it
he's
is.
like I was about to say he looks like he's actually pushing the guy back. It's like no matter what upper rank one seems to do, like Stonehouse seems to have an answer for it, and like it seems to be like in the palm of his hand, and it's just like, okay, you can do this, but I can do that. No matter what, either my axe, my hammer, or my chain is around you.
Yeah, I did like how he almost snipped his head off with the chain. He's like, oh, the pure iron. He was like, my sword wouldn't even stand up to that had it been cut by that. So I was like, man, that's pretty rough goings there. But yeah, that's gonna be a nice one. And just when you find out his sword regenerates, I was like, dang.
It's so good, so good. I cannot wait for. I almost want to read it right after like we're done recording this, but then like I don't want to wait a week to talk about it.
Yeah, I know what you
So like,
mean.
yeah, it's like with Tokyo Revengers, which we're gonna have to talk about pretty soon. I want to wait, but I also want to just pop it in right now and see what the fuck happens next.
I know. We'll get to that one in a little bit. But
But yeah, continue.
but yeah, pretty much it's over. And then he's like, the Stonehouse was like, I was saving this, but it doesn't matter if I still have it if I die here. So that's the cliffhanger. So you got to see what his technique is all about. And so
It's so good. It's so good. So Irby, before we get to Tokyo Revengers, catch us up on more what else you got going on. You caught up with that time I was reincarnated as a slime. Um you done a little Tower of God in One Piece this week or Tower of God?
so my One Piece goes like this. Don't watch it. Just play the video game. It's better for you.
It would go a lot quicker. You get through it a lot.
Nah, it's no, I haven't watched any. I was in the middle of watching one episode, and I was like, I don't feel like it. Reading the subtitles, hear Luffy cry. Uh-uh. But Tower of God, or should I say Tower of Betrayal? My Naya betrays Wang Nan. He's like, oh, who do you think he works for? He works for me. So he lets him in the room, and then they kill Naya, and Wang Nan is like, we gotta kill him. And then so he goes and gets the connector from from what's that the ranker, and I also feel like the tower it makes people either have like a good or a bad side, and like it's weird because they either make you either like still believe in people or make you like not believe people whatsoever. So I guess it all depends on what you want to do because people are flip flopping and like, oh, that's my friend. No, that's not my friend.
Right.
And then so but he gets a connector and he wants Bam to kill the lurker guy. So he kills the lurker and then well, he doesn't kill him. He goes to fight him in the room, and then Bam shows up, and Bam straight rips the the little worm monster out of that girl, which I was like, ew,
Yeon,
kind of
yeah, and the
gross.
thing was huge.
It was. So I was like, dang. Um, and then yeah, and then Lurk. I think the other guy starts fighting him too. Um, fighting the prince or whatever in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the other guy's like, there's an actual devil that lives in my arm. And then so that's what he shows him devil like almost kills him. And then Wingman shows up, fight the lurker, beats him to death. They start talking. Um, and then Wingman vows to change and save the house or whatever. And then we find out that Bam's been training for or dead for 6 years. And
Yep.
I was like, oh, I thought it was a couple weeks. Bam was out, but no, it was 6 years. My boy was dead. All right, Vo, uh, something, Jewel something is his name.
Juvel, uh, Juvial Grace.
Some long-winded anime name, but
I love it. I love him so much though.
yeah. But anyway, and then Kun thinks Rachel lied um about
Everything,
Bam dying. Yeah,
which is
and
true.
then yeah,
No, 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 no. Well, yeah, he does think she lied about him dying, but he definitely does think he's dead.
yeah. He thinks he killed. He thinks she killed. He thinks she killed him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like dang. So then he hires a crew to like basically pretend to be her team to go up the tower, and so it's like he knows and he's fake. He's like he's trying to get to the bottom of the truth of what really happened. So it's all funny. I'm like to go through all those lengths, and she thinks she's off scot free. Like, yeah, I just tricked him. Yeah, no more
She does the
Bam.
whole
Yeah,
evil laugh and shit. What a fucking
yeah,
bitch, bro. Oh, I hate her so much.
yeah. And so,
Oh,
but yeah, that was it for Tower of God. I did start watching a demon show where the kid, he's a human kid with a demon grandpa. Demon schools. I can't think of the name. I just needed something to watch. So I put it on while I was working out.
demon kid. No,
Yeah,
human kid with a demon grandpa.
yeah, like his grandfather, his parents sold him basically to demons.
Oh,
And
that reminds me. I'm trying to. I'm glad you mentioned that you watched something new. I meant to like review this last week because I'm trying to like get through these new mangas that I've never heard of before, but I want to like kind of review them before I read another one. So this one is my skills as an assassin obviously exceed the hero. There's 3 volumes out for it, and it's basically your stereotypical a whole classroom of students get summoned from another world to be heroes, and this guy who's a loner and very skeptical, his title was assassin. So like he kind of not trusting people right away because most people would think it's cool. We get teleported to another world and have powers. Well, that's pretty dope. But no, he kind of like lurks in the shadows, trying to figure out what's going on, and like there's something going on. The king and his princess are corrupt, kind of like in Shield Hero. So he's like trying to get to
Mm,
the bottom of it. So he like runs away from the castle, blah blah blah. It's dope. It's a dope read. Without giving away too much, it's one of the more interesting ones that follow that fade that common plot.
yeah. Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah. So that was just
Mm-mm-mm.
something to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of the name. Let me look on my I think it was on Crunchyroll because Funimation was acting up that morning. But yeah, what else are you reading? Are you into?
Well, I'm going to read this. The first new one I'm gonna read is called Hell's Paradise, and then I'm thinking of reading something else. But right now, I'm just sticking with Hell's Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
A word.
Yeah.
But yeah. So talk about anime week hero.
Okay. All right. Anime Week Hero.
No, I ain't gonna disrespect it because it is better than week hero. But we're gonna talk about Tokyo Revengers episode 7 Revive.
Okay. I don't know what's going on anymore, but I fucking love it. All right, so this is like the aftermath of the Mobius gang showing up to wipe out the Manji gang. And Takamichi was trying to prevent this fight because all we knew is that at some point this fight is what causes Draken and Mikey to fight, and Draken and Mikey fighting causes Draken to die.
Yeah, yeah. So they actually start fighting in this, and what is it? His pa or guy's name is Pa, and he starts fighting to starts getting beat up, and then there's like, oh, you lost, Pa, and then he's like, oh, Mikey's like, he's like, he hasn't lost yet, and Takamichi's like, you got to stop this. He's like, why? He hasn't given up yet, and then so they start fighting, and he starts falling out, and then like Mikey comes in, just like roundhouse kicks this kid, and knocks him out. So then
Immediately. Mind you,
yeah,
these are high schoolers. Mikey and our gang is in middle school.
yeah.
Just putting that out there in case anyone doesn't know.
Yeah, so I'm like, man, and then and I'm like, then the episode Pod basically stabs the guy in the back, and it's like,
After the
why did you
conflict
do
was
that?
over, yeah. But
Yeah,
he also, you know what? You know what? To be fair, he also turned himself in, which I thought was like, oh, okay. I thought this dude was a piece of shit, and he kind of still is, but like, he's okay.
yeah.
You know, he has a conscience. He's not entirely a fucking jack piece of shit. But like, over the next two episodes, I ended up asking myself something, and I want you to weigh in on a little. Do you think Takemichi is changing the future or causing the future at this point? Before we go
So
into further details as to like what's going on. But like just from what I know right now, the last episode we watched on August 3rd where Homeboy gets got, as far as I know, that doesn't happen without Takemichi doing what he did in the fight during the beginning of the show.
Well, here, here's the other thing I think about too. I feel like certain events have to happen regardless, and I feel like he's not. I don't think he's changing the um the events. Like I feel like he might be changing like the nature of the gang, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, oh, we're more of a good natured gang now, type deal. Or they're like, oh, we stick by the rules, like family's off limits. We're strictly only fighting you, type deal. And so I don't know. I don't think he's changing it per se because like stuff still happens. Th- it might not happen the way that it did, but like he did increase the number went from like 50 people to 100 some people or whatever fighting, and more people showed up. So,
Indeed that did happen. Yeah.
but I also feel like since that happened, like maybe because maybe the first go around, Mikey wasn't there to stop the fight, but like he might be there to apply pressure to the wound and save Draken this time. You know, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
It's an interesting theory that I'm willing to give it some give it some light. Now, my whole thing is it's like it sucks that there's no way for Takemichi to like convince his past self to behave a certain way because like noted like mind you anytime he goes into the future he goes in 12 years he goes back to his old self
Yeah,
and
because
apparently that old self is a dick
it,
that would sleep with Emma.
yeah, because Hina's like, what Hina was like, you're the grown up Takamichi today,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, Takamichi. So, yeah, but anyhow, yeah. So basically, they do a split, and then Takamichi convinces them not to fight each other, um, and so they laugh and hee hee and yuck it up,
Because he has
and
shit on his head.
yeah, and then so he's mad at them because they broke all his stuff,
Oh yeah, he was
and then
ready to fight but he just couldn't hit anybody.
yeah, he was weak, and then so they
Which I get why they were fighting. Like it's a little extreme, but like I get why they were fighting. Like they both had reasons to be on their side, like very justified reasons.
hmm
It was just a matter if you're gonna let him be there, you're gonna not let him be there. But like Draken was right. Pa wanted to be in prison, and we're gonna talk about this coming up a little soon. But Pe, I think that's his name, Pe, should have realized that as well.
yeah, he turned himself in.
Okay, because like what I want to do after we talk about the last episode is predictions for the next two. Because I think we're gonna be able to watch two episodes before next week. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's because Draken's stance was like he wanted to do that and he wanted to be honorable, and then Mikey's stance is like, no, we can't let our brother go and this and that. But Dragon's like, you got to honor his position. But
Mm-hmm.
it's typical like when you're young, you think you know every daggone thing, and then like when you get older, you're like, oh, I was wrong in this instance, or
Yeah, you're
that
not wrong
instance was
until you're
wrong.
wrong, or like until you calm down in the situation. Like Mikey was really
Yeah,
heated and Draken was really heated, so they probably weren't willing. Like you're less willing to admit you're wrong when you're angry about something.
yeah,
It's like, pride is the biggest downfall of people, right? So pride comes before the fall, shit
mm,
like that, things like that. You get angry and like even if you realize you're wrong, half the time you'll probably just continue with it just for like the sake of not admitting you're wrong.
nah, it depends on who you are. Cause I'll tell you, I'm wrong in a minute. Oops, my bad, dog.
You right, you
Shoot,
right.
shoot. But
But
yeah, most people. I'm not
mhm.
most people. I'm different.
Yeah, you a
I'm
troll. You
different. Yeah, I'm different.
a different troll, yeah.
Pull up to the scene. What's still missing?
So everything's good. Mikey and Draken are friends, as close as ever, and they're both friends with Takemichi, um, and it's all good. Then comes the festival, and in
Yeah.
this festival, we have this very intimate moment with Takemichi and Hinata, and
Hina.
like Hina, yeah, Hina. But I like the name Hinata. Her name's Hinata. Is it
Nah.
right? Right? Hinata
Hinata.
Tachibana.
Yeah, it is Hinata, but nah. Hinata is reserved for someone else.
Hinata is waifu.
Yes.
Um, I really like the character on Hina. I like and like I just don't see why. Like I see why she fell for mature Takemichi, who worries about other people and shit like that. I don't know why she likes piece of shit Takemichi.
I don't
'Cause
know
they were
either.
dating before he went back.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
don't really understand it, but I
I think she was trying to help him or something. Like maybe she saw like something he could be in himself or like or he might I think he might have flashes of decency. She's like, "Oh, he's kind of a decent guy." Type deal.
maybe. But either way, you know, they talk a little about who is it? Who is it? A little about Draken and Emma and how Emma's in love with Draken, but like he won't notice her,
Draken
and that's
can't see
why.
it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's why she did the thing with Takemichi. And then she remembers that he did the thing with Takemichi. It's like you're not off the hook unless you win this game. And like he probably spent all his money on the game, but it was rigged because you're not
Yeah.
supposed to win that game.
You never win those games.
And it starts raining, and they have a really cute moment under a tree where like her sandal breaks and she's about to fall, and he catches her, and like he realized he was close, and he tries to pull away, but she tugs him back. It's like, hold on, I forgive you. Come here. This feels nice. I was like,
Yeah.
Hina, calm down. There's some
Now
cold
like
water everywhere. Just spray it on yourself.
I was like, nah, speed it on up. The body heat feels nice.
Shoot. But I don't know his friends' names. I know Akun. That's it. That's about it. So I can't say who called him. But the one with glasses and tied up hair, like half tied up hair,
Yeah.
almost like Mikey, but like worse. Called him and was like, "Hey, something's about to go down." And it was August 3rd. He's like, shit, it's still happening. Why'd I let my guard down? So he leaves Hina at the tree and he goes running, searching. And that's where we run into the crew that they used to have to like
Kiyomasa.
serve. Kiyumasa,
Yeah.
yeah, that crew. And boy,
Yeah.
PTSD is a bitch. Because
Yeah.
as
They
soon
were
as they started beating him, he just went right back to the old phase, and he realized something. Like he wasn't any stronger just because he hung out with Mikey and Draken. He was
yeah.
still the same Takemichi. He just hung out with a better crowd. But like when he's not with that crowd, who's gonna protect him? No one. So
Yeah.
he ended up getting his ass beat, and he was apologizing, and he got duct tape. And the plan was, what was it? Hiyomasa,
Uh Kiyomasa.
Kiyumasa said, we're gonna use you as bait. We're gonna put the blame for what we're about to do." And they planned on stabbing Dragon.
Yeah.
So after laying there about to pass out, Hina goes looking for him because Hina is the best, and Hinu is the light in the fucking night in this fucking show. And
Yeah.
she finds him, she untapes his mouth, and he breaks down, thinking he's worthless, he can't save anyone. She should have no idea what he's talking about, but like she cares so much for him at this point that she's like, "You're not," and she kisses him. She lays one on him thick.
Yeah. I'm like, dang. So finally get the kiss. Um, and then he goes off and like tries to save him, and then I forget the other biker guy comes up and they tell him the story, and then like he's like, yeah, there's some people that still want to kill Draken from Mikey's faction, and then so Draken's walking and he sees one of the guys that aren't happy with the resolution, and then they try to jump the boy and hit him with a bat, and then that's when Takamichi remembers the different route to get there, and he goes over there and he fights. So when he gets there and he sees him fighting, so
Mm-hmm. And like Emma was there the whole time. Emma's like
yeah,
ride or die for Dragon. Like she's there. She's a part of this crew. And like real quick before we continue on, there was that one moment, and it was like so freaking hilarious, where like Emma was crying in Takemichi's lap, and like it kind of looked like she was giving him head. And fucking Hina comes in. It's like that's disgusting, but she didn't. She didn't look away. I'm just saying. I'm putting that out there. She found it gross, but she stared and stared and stared, and still hit the guy.
yeah, yeah, cause he fell out earlier. That was 2 episodes ago. But anyhow, yeah. So they fight, and then Mikey comes shows up because he found out that they called him away so he wouldn't be near Draken so they can get to him.
Mm-hmm. And
So
then they have like a solid 100 people there, but like Takemichi's there, Draken's there, Mikey's there, and the guy with the white hair, who I think is cool, but I don't know his name.
yeah, he is
And
pretty cool.
they're like, "Oh, what are you gonna do against 100 of us? There's only four of you." Mind you, Takemichi's not a fighter. He tries, but
Hmm.
the man to no avail. Anyways, he go,
Yeah,
and then you hear the sound of bikes,
rolling
and
deep. I was like, okay.
bro, it's I can see why Pete really likes this this anime and like read ahead, because like it does kind of leave you wanting to know what happens next.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, kiss. Okay, all right. So before I go into that, um, the big brawl happens, and Takemichi is looking for Dragon. He's like, I gotta protect Dragon. Where's Dragon? And he he's looking. He's thinking about giving up. He's like, I can't give up, but I can't find him. And then he sees Kiyomasa. He's like, I found
Yeah.
Kiyomasa. I found you. I'm gonna stop you. But then notices the knife and blood, and sees the direction he was walking from, because most people will just walk a straight path from when they're going from somewhere. And then
Yeah.
sees Draken laying on the floor. Boom. End of episode.
Yeah.
What's going through your head right now as you're watching this?
I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, he's either dead or he could have the possibility of bleeding out. Like he still could be saved,
Mm-hmm.
but then you don't know because he started bleeding out a whole lot. But it could be one of those superficial stabs that happen. Because there was because the show on Arrow they made him look like in prison, like he got stabbed to make it look like he died because he had a non-vital area, but he had an area that would like bleed a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it gave just enough blood. So I'm like, oh, that could be happening here.
Yeah, it could be. So like I'm thinking if Takamichi wasn't there, no one would notice Draken before he bled out. But
Yeah,
Takamichi was specifically looking for him. So, like, he might actually survive. I'm thinking he's going to survive. Then he's going to go to the future and find out that this caused someone else to die.
yeah, or
It's,
something, or
yeah, it's going to be like a whole fucking thing. Like,
changing stuff.
yeah.
So I don't
Um,
know.
what are your thoughts about it so far, though? Like, are you warming up to it? Is it still weak hero status to you, or?
Nah, it's not as bad as Weak Hero, but it's a good show. Uh, yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But shoot, my man be out there trying to do stuff, messing stuff up. So I don't
Hey,
know how
man,
that goes.
that's how it be,
He's doing
right?
his best. Yeah, he's doing his best. I ain't mad at you, Takamichi. He's trying to say the love of his life. Got his first kiss though. So
Yo, he
I'm
did. He got his first. Yeah. Hey, that's a win in my book. Just saying.
yeah. I'm thinking like maybe in the end like maybe maybe the gang still's the same, but like he maybe he'll save Hina or something, like sacrifice himself or something at the end. So I don't know. Who knows?
You never know.
Or maybe Mikey and them run all of Tokyo, but they're a good gang. I don't know. Just speculating.
Well, we'll see what happens in the next two episodes for next week. You have anything else you want to add?
Anything else I want to add? Nope. I'm good to
No,
go.
we're good. We covered everything. Okay. All right. So let me see. What do I got going? Yeah, I'm gonna try to read Hellfire or Hell's Paradise. I think is what it's called. Hell's Paradise, and see what that's about. If I like it, well, whether I like it or not, I'm share how it was, what the experience was, what it felt like,
What
and
to do, baby?
what it do. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. I eat
But
dog.
yeah, all right. That's gonna do it for this week's episode of Herbal Synergy. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do the thing with the thing and the thing, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.
Peace.